Drinking matcha, an iced matcha latte, although this is a very sad matcha color. I also asked for strawberry cold foam. Why does this not have an ounce of pink? Anyways. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ari if you're new here, and if you're not, then welcome back to my channel. Every time that I record a video, it feels like I'm always like that sound. Hey, how y'all doing? Like, that's literally me, because I feel like I post and then I leave. So every year I create a vision board for the year. And when I was thinking about or wanting to start my 2025 vision board, I always like to reflect on the year prior, just to kind of see like where I was at, what I accomplished, what I didn't, and just to kind of like see what I want to bring into the new year, or what I want, just to kind of reflect in general as a person. I was like, okay, I can either just write it down in my journal and like keep it to myself, but I kind of was thinking, okay, well, I want to start my YouTube up again anyway, so I'm gonna be posting, but I don't want to just post like a random video. I kind of wanted to use like January as a reset, but I think it's also too late in the month to like reset for the year, and also like where my space is at. Like, I just didn't want that, and I didn't want to start with like February Valentine's Day content, if that makes sense, like just like out of nowhere. So I figured I would kind of do like a 2024 recap, and also too to catch you guys up on where I've been, if you care, because again, I've been absent on YouTube for a bit, and so I kind of wanted to do where I've been update kind of thing, and then like let's move forward. Like, this is where I'm at, and let's go ahead and move forward from this point. And also at the end of the day, I have this YouTube channel kind of as a diary. Like, this is my diary. It just happens to be digital diary, and it also serves as like an update of where I've been and where I'm going moving forward in 2025. Anyways, that's a very long intro to this video. I'm so sorry. I just felt like I needed to get that off my chest. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. I have a notebook in front of me. Of course I have notes, so if I am looking down, that is what I am looking at, in case you're wondering. 2024 was not the year that I thought it would be. I feel like obviously we don't know what's to come, none of us do, but I really did not think that 2024 was going to be the year that it was. 2024 was definitely the hardest year for me. There's good years, there's bad years. I hadn't experienced a bad year in, I guess, ever. I don't know. I always thought like, well, the years are great and stuff, life is great, until 2024. Now I'm like, oh, I get it. I understand other people when they say not the best year, or even when the holidays come up and people get a little bit emotional. Now I understand that. In a way, I'm grateful that I'm able to understand a little bit better. Almost wish that I didn't have to go through these things to understand. It's part of life. At the end of the day, like, I have been doing a lot of learning, and it's just like life learning things that you just have to, it's those things that you just have to go through it, and unfortunately that's just the only way that we will learn. If I could describe it in one sentence, I would say it was a never-ending storm. Like, it came to a point where it was thing after thing. Like, on a monthly basis, I was just kind of waiting for the next thing to happen, because something had already happened. I was like, okay, what's next? Like, in a way, it felt like I couldn't even catch a breath. So I wanted to mention a couple things that I struggled with. And again, it kind of sounds like me, I struggled. I just want you to know that I now know that we're all struggling. You know what I mean? Like, this just happens to be me sharing my story. I also am aware that we're all struggling. Anyways, so this year, like that TikTok sound where it's like, I've been through pain, I've been through fear, I've been through death, moving, like, that is literally my 2024. Like, I went through death multiple times. I went through a breakup, went through moving multiple times. Mental health was bad, and it really hadn't been before. At least not to this extent. Career/school. I think I'd mentioned in a previous video that I wanted to begin my master's, and I did, and struggled with that. I wasn't fully focused, couldn't really be focused. I'm kind of still like struggling with that, and I'm hoping to, get that going again in 2025. But it was definitely like in the back of my head at all times. And of course, some other personal goals that I just wasn't able to meet. And it does take a toll on you, like even just your mental health, Those are just a couple things that I wanted to kind of mention. And it's been very hard to move past and kind of keep going, but I choose to learn from these things instead of just kind of like, well, life sucks, it is what it is, I'm really trying to take these things and just be like, okay, let's learn from this and let's move forward. But it is very hard, especially when you're in it, like in the thick of it, which I've been for weeks, months. Sometimes I would say, not that I'm like solely out of it, because I think this is, especially with grief, it's one of those things that, or I've learned that it never really goes away. Unfortunately, you just kind of learn to like deal with it. And that's kind of where I'm at. Literally taking it day by day. Some days are hard, like heavy, and some days are a little bit lighter, but not like, you're not back to that old happy little joyful Adi doesn't know anything about life, you know, like I will never be that girl again. 2024 was definitely the year that broke me, and I'm just hoping that 2025 is a year where I can rebuild myself back, because when I look back, thing after thing like really was just like chipping at me. And not that it all started in 2024, I think I could even go back to previous years, but I'm really hoping that this year that will be one of my focus, like let's rebuild Adi, because she has not been okay for a while, and we need to like get back on it, not just for myself, but just like so that I am the best version of myself for my family, for my friends, of course for myself. Another thing that I learned is that life is fragile. I wrote, life is fragile, hug others. What I mean by that is you just never know. You literally never know. So just like, not necessarily just hug others, of course, physically, but show your love to others. Like no matter what, do your best to show your love through words, service, actions, being there, like just love more. That is at least what I'm trying to focus more. Manipulation is a very big one that I wrote, and of course all that leads to me not posting. And I know social media is at the end of the day not all that important. However, I do have some ups from 2024. Family trips. I've been through some beautiful, amazing trips with my family this year. We were able to, or last year, we were able to go to Disney World all together. It was my family and some of my closest best friends, and we were celebrating my birthday and my niece's birthday. So it was just like the most magical time, literally, at Disney World. I also adopted my first cat, my first pet. I adopted my first pet, and it was the most amazing thing, best decision I've ever done. He's my literal best friend. He's literally my everything, and quite honestly, one of the reasons why I'm still here. He's quite literally the best thing that's ever happened to me. So I do not want to dock 2024 as just like a negative year, because of course there was some positive things that I wanted to share, you know, kind of bring some light into it all. I also had my first collab with ColourPop, which the opportunity is there. I just, again, going back to not posting, like I was held back a lot. I left a toxic relationship, which I feel like is a big one, because I was talking to a few friends and they were basically telling me like, that's okay if that's the only thing you did in 2024, because a lot of people stay in those types of situations for years, until forever. And just you being able to get yourself out of that is like the biggest goal of 2024. Like you, and I'm trying to tell myself that, because in ways I feel like I didn't accomplish much in 2024. But yeah, just being able to end that toxic relationship is one of my biggest like accomplishments in 2024. And again, I'm trying to tell myself like, that is okay, that is a big one, because now you're able, because of that happened, now you're able to work on this Adi. And like, you know, it just opened up my eyes, and it opened up so much room, literal room, for growing and learning and experiencing. It just, honestly, one of my biggest blessings. Like, going along with that is that I started therapy again, which is something that I was bashed for in the past, and obviously it held me back from doing that. So the fact that I started again immediately after that relationship ended, I was like free, you know, and it's helping me so much now. And again, moving forward, it is just like the best. Those were a couple of ups that I wanted to mention, again, for my own personal digital journal that this is, but you just happen to be let in. But now I want to talk about 2025, because, you know, yes, we had a horrible year, but how do we change that? Again, not that we had control of like most of it, but how do we have a better positive, not that the word is better, it's more of like, how do we have a more positive outlook. But what I want to focus on is growth. Like that is, I guess, my word for the year, growth. And it has so many different categories. Like I have personal growth, I have career growth, I have my freelance growth, I have relationships, whether that's family or friends, I have fitness or wellness growth. Like all of those I want to work on in 2025, and now I truly feel like I have the space and the time, and this is the time for me to like do that, work on that. Oh wait, I left out one thing about the ups. It is a very, very important one, so I don't want to just like move past it. Quickly, I want to go back to my friend circle, is one of my ups in 2024, because I somehow, without even realizing or like really focusing on it, have built my friend circle, like a solid friend circle, which I can tell you that a year ago I would not be able to say that. I'm just super grateful, because I don't think I would be where I'm at if it wasn't for friends and family. Like I would not be able to do it alone. Or my therapist. Shout out my therapist. It's actually funny because I had a session with her yesterday, and she was like, you need a YouTube channel and you need to not be afraid of it. And I was like, that's kind of why I'm filming, honestly, because I was like, well, that's funny. Funny you ask. I do have a YouTube channel and I am afraid of it. And she's just like, really? That's funny. Like she had no idea. So she's like, you need to get on it. And I'm like, okay. So here we are. I did want to mention that, the friend group thing, because that's another thing that I'm very proud of myself for doing, because making friends when you're an adult is hard, and like keeping them and nourishing them, like it is hard. It's hard work, but it's very rewarding. Not just my friends. Shout out to my family. You guys watching, I love you very much. So friends and family, super important. That's pretty much like, I guess, my recap and how I'm moving forward in 2025. Since this is me sharing like my personal stuff, I just kind of wanted to open it up to you guys if you're comfortable. I just want you to know that you are not alone. We all struggle somehow, and that's why they say like be nice to everybody, because you never know. It was always a saying, but now I like truly understand, like you just never know. You never know. Hug others, love others. Tomorrow's not promised. Let's make 2025 a year where we rebuild and we rise together. I would love to know you guys' 2025 goals. If you're up to it, drop them down in the comments. I would love for us to inspire one another. I feel like that would be so fun. 2025 is the year where I take back control. I feel like I haven't had that mentality in a while, and it's definitely affected me, and I want to be able to change that this year. And I guess with talking about keeping each other accountable, I'm gonna play with the idea of bringing vlogs back, because I do want to vlog again. It's one of my passions. I think it's so fun, and it pushes me to do more fun things and get myself out there. I want to work on possibly monthly vlogs, weekly/monthly vlogs. We'll see how it works, how it lays out, but I feel like that would be a fun way to also check in with you guys based on this video. Like, okay, let's now check in how we feel a few months after, and then when we do our 2025 recap, we can kind of like see how it all went down, if that makes sense. And we can again check in with each other in our comments, and just kind of create a little community of 2025 success, if that makes any sense. That is all. I have to go back to work because 9 to 5 girly here, but anyways, that is all that's going on in my neck of the woods. Again, I would love to know what you guys are up to. I know it's been a while, but I really appreciate you being here on my YouTube channel. Follow me on my Instagram and TikTok. It's Magic with Ari. You guys know I'm gonna try to get back to posting. I have so much content that I need to post. Again, that fear of rejection, failure, cringe, imposter, like it's all of that combined, and I just don't post. But I really need to get over that, and this is my way of doing it. So anyways, love you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.